Hey, what's going on, New Canaan? We're here today for a 6 o'clock start time. The New Canaan girls taking on Eastport-South something. And let me tell you, Jackson, we're in for a good one here. They're 5-3. New Canaan's coming off of a 15-11 loss to Darien. Probably looking for a little bit of revenge, trying to get something going. And what do you expect to see today, Jackson?
You know, Chad, it's definitely going to be a bounce-back game for New Canaan coming off that loss to Darien. They're just looking to get their season on track for the upcoming FCF playoff stretch.
Awesome, Jackson. I know we took to the field here, and I think we're going to cut to that right now.
Hello everyone, I'm joined here by Chad Russo, and as you can see we have some cloudy skies, temps at about 53 degrees, but it doesn't feel like 53 degrees, does it, Chad?
Shiver me timbers, Jackson. I feel like Frozone with how incredibly cold I am over here. We got a nice 15-mile-per-hour wind going this way, and when you're out here, it's just hitting you in the face. It's a blistering cold. You don't expect this out here in April. But look, the girls are still excited out there playing. You can hear their voices. The music is bumping. You can feel the energy here, Jackson.
That's right, Chad, and we should have sunlight for the rest of this game. Sun is set to set at 7:40 p.m.
And Jackson, I really like that addition you added there about sunset being at 7:40. Sometimes when the lights change like that, it can be a little difficult for the players. So I think that's definitely an awesome addition you made there. So how do you expect this Eastport team to attack the Rams today?
Well, you know, Chad, it's definitely going to be difficult. New Canaan's got a really strong defense this year. Players like Carolyn Barron have really been dominant all season on the defensive end for the Rams. But if you're Southport Manor, it's really all about that motion offense. You have to have players cut into the crease at all times and try to disorient this New Canaan defense, which is going to be difficult to do.
Awesome, Jackson. And I think we're going to take to the field here in just a moment, maybe get the national anthem, the starting lineups going. We'll be back after this.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Dunning Stadium here at New Canaan High School for tonight's girls lacrosse game between the Eastport-South Manor Sharks and the New Canaan Rams. And now let's meet this evening's starting lineups. First for the Sharks, number 3, Gianna Giacolone. Number 5, Allison Macera. Number 8, Mia Forte. Number 11, Haley Hoopful. Number 12, Emma McLean. Number 13, Kaylin Luciano. Number 16, Julia Morrisroe. Number 17, Lauren Dunn. Number 22, Cassidy Miller. Number 23, Amanda Sweeney. Number 44, Maddie Schwack. And in the goal tonight for the Sharks is number 21, Ashley Langdon. And now let's meet the starting lineup for the New Canaan Rams. Number 1, Carolyn Barron. Number 3, Dylan Patton. Number 5, Stella Nolan. Number 6, Kaylee Harden. Number 8, Devin Russell. Number 9, Caroline Underwood. Number 10, Jade Lowe. Number 16, Jamie Leahy. Number 22, Catherine Norton. Number 23, Lexi Tully. Number 26, Izzy Apelt. And in goal tonight for the Rams is number 42, Claire Mahoney. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we ask that you please rise for the playing of the Star-Spangled Banner.
And we're back. Really excited for this one here, Jackson. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw Kaylee Harden take the first draw here for New Canaan, maybe even Devin Russell. And look, the draw is a really important part of the game, Jackson. How does dominating the draw really help a team?
Well, Chad, we saw that in the Darien New Canaan boys game, how important face-offs were. Darien was just on a roll going into that game. They had almost swept Ridgefield in their prior game on the face-off X, but New Canaan's Cam Wheatfeld, John Tataro just really performed well on the face-off. on the face-off X, and obviously girls lacrosse is a little bit different, but we saw New Canaan, an inferior team on paper, to Darien, win a real statement game thanks to their success on the face-off X. And certainly in this game, if the Sharks want to have success against a very talented New Canaan girls roster, they're going to need some success on the draw.
Yeah, Jackson, for sure. And I mean, just looking at that, both these sports, guys and girls lacrosse, they have their differences, but both are really games of possession. Whatever team can hold the ball, control the way the flow of the game is going, that's the most important thing. Sometimes it can be easy for teams to jump out to quick goal leads, but when your team's controlling the pace of the game and things around those lines, it can be really effective and pay off as the game goes on.
That's 100% right, Chad. And one piece of wisdom that was once passed down to me is you can't score if you don't have the ball.
See, yeah, Jackson, I think that's pretty brilliant right there. Pretty profound, one might say. And it looks like both teams are going to be taking to the field here. Maybe not the Sharks quite yet.
Sharks are going to spend a little more time in the huddle, too.
It gets cold, Jackson. Sometimes you need to huddle together a little bit for warmth, as we can see on both sides here.
Jennifer showed me some early pictures of Lauren and Haley. It's so funny. It's like, were they that small one time? Let's start over.
And it appears we were right, Jackson. It looks like Kaylee Harden will be taking the draw against Haley Kluppaful.
Well, you predicted it would be taking the draw, Chad. Let's see if you can give a score prediction now. You're on a hot streak.
I'm feeling a 15-9 game for the Rams here. A nice little bounce-back win for them. And we see Mia Forte here with the ball, carrying it. Definitely good stick control there from her. As she passes the ball off to number 12 here. I believe that is Emma McLean.
Just what the Sharks wanted to start the game, Chad. We said in the pregame, lacrosse is a game of possession. For the Sharks coming, playing a really strong team like New Canaan, and an away game, you need the ball to get off to a statement start.
We see Ali Macera here with a red headband, somewhat similar to the one Kaylee Harden wears. Jackson, what's the story behind Kaylee Harden's red headband?
Well, Chad, Kaylee Harden wears that red headband to every game. She's been very successful wearing that headband. She was first team All-FCAC last year and is committed to UNC for girls lacrosse.
And we saw some defense there from Kaylee Harden. It appears that the Sharks are going to get an 8-meter here, maybe bumping her, maybe a bit of a slash there. Not quite sure what the call was. And what a shot there by Haley Kalupfaful. Jackson, what do you see there on that 8-meter?
Well, it seems like Claire Mahoney was kind of caught off guard there by the bounce shot she used. Claire Mahoney's obviously an amazing goalie. She's committed to Brown. She was first team All-FCAC last year. Just one of the best goalies in the entire state, but those bounce shots are very difficult to stop, and 8 meters are great opportunities for these players on Eastport-South Manor to capitalize on.
And Jackson, we talked about the weather really early before this, and sometimes when it's cold like this, the joints can get a little frozen up. It can be harder to move, maybe a little bit slower reaction as we saw there.
Possibly, but you see Claire Mahoney, she's wearing sweatpants and a sweatshirt. I think she'll be good.
So we see Dylan Patton get control of the ball here. She passes it off to number 5. That is Stella Nolan. Lexi Tolley has the ball, passing it to Harden. Harden with the goal right there. Golly gee willikers, Jackson, what a goal that was. A beautiful cut there by Kaylee Harden. What do you see?
And a quick response from the Rams, Chad. That's exactly what they needed. And Kaylee Harden's definitely going to need to step up today. They obviously lost a star attackman in Hollis Mulry, who will be out for the season with a knee injury. And she was responsible for a lot of production offensively for this Rams team. And Kaylee Harden's definitely a player who can step up and fill the void left behind by Mulry.
Yeah, and when you look at the impact that Dylan Patton and Kaylee Harden have on these teams, 2 All-Americans, there's definitely a lot of pressure on them. And with Hollis Mulry going down, you have to believe some of that pressure's been added on a little bit, as we see Kaylee Harden on the draw here.
Of course, Chad, but they also have so much underclassmen depth on this team. There are a lot of other players ready to step up and gain some experience. in the place that Hollis Maury left behind.
And we see Haley Kaluffel getting the ball here again. She's been like a vacuum picking up balls so far. As they pass the ball off to number 12 here. I believe that is McLean. And I believe that might be a Caitlin Luciano goal. It's hard to see the numbers out there, Jackson, but she took it to the net there, and the defense just failed to react.
Well, Chad, that was definitely an interesting play. I believe I saw Massera on the ground rolling around like a tumbleweed going across the crease, and they kind of just kept playing on the Sharks' end, and she shot it. Looked like there was a bit of confusion.
Yeah, sometimes it's easy to get bamboozled like that, Jackson. It happens so often. Happened to me a lot when I was playing lacrosse. But look, Luciano was able to take advantage of it there and able to put the ball in the net.
And that's 2 goals for the Sharks in the first 3 minutes of this game. Not something I necessarily expected going in, but the Sharks have definitely come to play.
Yeah, and I think it's all off the back of Haley Kaluffel here. She's been able to win draws, get control of the ball, and overall it's just been a great performance by her so far. Looks like it's going to be a New Canaan possession here. Dylan Patton picking up the ball. Definitely someone they want handling the ball here.
Dylan Patton, Chad, just such a secure ball handler for this team. She can just really do it all, offensively, defensively. She's kind of just a one-person clear.
Yep, and we saw Izzy Apelt there getting the ball to Devin Russell. Devin Russell taking it inside, passing it off to Caroline Underwood. Lexi Tolley now with the ball. Things seem to be slowing down here a little bit. Dylan Patton with the ball. Kaylee Harden passes to Devin Russell. Caroline Underwood with the ball. Patton takes it to the net. I believe they broke her sphere there right in front of her face. She'll get an 8-meter.
And Chad, that opportunity that Patton just created can all be attributed to her speed. Just one of the fastest players on this team, just dashing to the goal.
Yeah, we talked about it earlier in one of the last games. Her teammates claim she runs a 4.5 40. Not quite sure about that, but you know what I am sure about, Jackson? That was a great goal right there by Dylan Patton. We saw the speed there. She was able to get to the net before the defenders could cut her off.
Great play there by Patton. We saw Harden step up. Now it's Patton's turn. The 2 seniors really stepping up and fulfilling that void left behind by Maury.
Kaluffel and Harden on the draw. And it appears that Harden wins the draw there by a slight margin, picking up the ball, moving it to Stella Nolan. Stella Nolan takes it to the net and scores in an electric fashion there. 3.5 minutes into this game, Jackson, already 3-2. Stella Nolan on the board, Dylan Patton on the board, Kaylee Harden on the board. All the big names are scoring so far.
And Chad, that was just a gorgeous take by Stella Nolan. She hit him with a little shot fake, got her defender to bite on it, went right around her, straight to the crease, and just shot it right past the goalie. Nothing the Sharks could do on that one. Just superior play by Nolan.
Yeah, and we've seen them move a lot. The ball's been moving around a lot so far this game. We already said 3.5 minutes in, already 5 goals. Not a lot of defense getting played. It almost looks like an NBA game.
It almost does, Chad.
Harden Kaluffel on the draw. Looks like Kaluffel's going to use her height advantage there to get the ball. Oh, nope, still on the ground. And it looks like we see number 8 there, Mia Forte, getting the ball. She throws it back to her defense here. Cassidy Miller with the ball. Passing it off to McLean. Maybe Luciano, it's hard to tell with the numbers. Massero with the ball, passing it off to Kaluffel. Miller taking it towards the net. Luciano with the ball. She moves it around. Forte taking it towards the net, passing it off to number 22 there, but it's picked off. I believe that is Norton.
And Chad, what a great play by Nora and some great vision by her. Only a sophomore, one of those players, one of those underclassmen we've seen really step up for this team. Her, Russell, and of course Lexi Tully just have such a bright future. Only sophomores and getting a lot of minutes on varsity.
And Jackson, if I had to compare that to something right there, it looked like Troy Pomamalu going for an interception there. Saw the ball all the way through, just running right through it. They telegraphed the pass, and she took advantage of it. Norton with the ball. She passes it to Tully. Nolan. Nolan will get an 8-meter here. Little bit of contact there. Nolan just barely missing the net. And it looks like they might get Lexi Tully on a call here for hitting the defender. Oh, we completely missed it. Looks like the Sharks have a little bit of a penalty here with a minute left on the clock. Completely didn't see that one. Makes sense that the Rams were able to get off such an easy 8-meter shot there.
Chad, although they didn't scoop it up, that was a great check there by Kaylee Harden. She's just such a great defender. Her and Dylan Patton just do a great job of forcing turnovers in the open field on clears.
Yep, and we see number 16 with the ball here, Morris Rowe. Passing it off to Luciano there, taking the ball towards the net on Carolyn Barron. Massaro with the ball.
And Chad, we're seeing Jade Lowe pretty much running free here while the Rams are still man up. The Rams can pretty much double team every single Shark player.
And what a save there. What a save by Claire Mahoney. Sweet Devin Russell carrying it up the field. What a grab by Stella Nolan. She's taking it towards the net. Just looks like the ball just rolled right out the back of her stick.
And Chad, we saw a great save there by Mahoney, but an even better reaction by Devin Russell to scoop that up. That ball hit off Mahoney's stick and was rolling right in front of the goal. If Russell hadn't been able to scoop that up so efficiently, Sharks might have been looking at an easy ground ball than a goal.
And we're going to see another Stella Nolan 8-meter here, her second of the day, maybe third. She passes it off. Tully with the ball. And what a move by Tully there, just barely getting stopped there by number 21, Ashley Langdon, as she passes the ball off to her defense. Forte just turning the ball over there on the pass to Coluffel as Kaylee Harden carries the ball up the field here.
And a smart move there by Harden to slow it down. The team's been running a lot in transition. They're just trying to catch their breath here before they go on the attack.
Jackson, you have to believe this game's really hard on your cardio. We've seen the same middies be in the whole game, running back and forth. Sometimes it just makes sense to slow down a little bit, as we saw Stella Nolan make a great grab there. Harden with the ball. Off to Russell. Russell taking it towards the net. She's getting pushed around a little bit, but it looks like it might be an 8-meter for her. Russell takes it in, but decides to pull it out and pass it to Lexi Tully there. Maybe a smart play. We saw her getting cut off a little bit. Looked like Tully might have slipped a little bit there, but it looks like she'll get the call for the 8-meter.
And a lot of good opportunities here for the Rams, Chad. They're doing a great job of just taking the ball to the goal, taking an initiative. Seems like every player out there is willing to step up and make a play on offense.
A lot of movement going on, trying to get the Sharks set up. Tully goes towards the net, and she gets stripped of the ball there. The Sharks doing a great job being able to cut her off.
And Chad, that was very, very good defense there by the Sharks. They just absolutely shut down Tully. You saw the double team come quickly, force the ball out of her stick. And now they got the Rams on a 2-minute penalty.
I believe this might be Amanda Sweeney picking up the ball. Once again, the numbers are a little difficult to see. And what a takeaway check there by Nolan. It looks like she might get called on a penalty, but look, it was a great check as we see Emma McLean pick the ball back up. Coluffel with the ball, passing it off to Luciano. Not a lot of movement going on. Looks like the Sharks are trying to set up, maybe get a play call in.
You know, Chad, the Sharks have over a minute still where they're going to be man up in this one. They just have time to really set up their offense, get exactly what they want out there before they start the play that they want to run.
It's kind of a dual-edged sword there, though, Jackson. Sometimes when you take all this time to set up plays, it can get your players out of like a funk. It can get them into a little bit slowing things down. It can be harder to dodge. It's already cold outside. I know as a player I hated standing around like that. Looks like there'll be a shooting space call there on number 26, Apelt, as Cassidy Miller will get to take an 8-meter here. It looks like she'll be stripped there by Kaylee Harden, and Leahy just barely won't be able to pick up the ball as she gets pushed.
Great job by the Rams there, Chad. Really stepped up on defense, made a play to stop that 8-meter opportunity, and now they can run down the rest of this penalty with the ball in their stick.
Carolyn Barron on the clear. We've already seen some great clears from here so far this season as Patton got the ball. Looks like she might have had a little bit of an opportunity there. Very smart play pulling it out. Tully with the ball. Stella Nolan dodging over the top. Taking the ball towards the net. Pulling it back out. Tight defense on Patton there by number 23, Amanda Sweeney. But it doesn't seem to matter as Dylan Patton's able to put in a filthy goal there. That was a dirty deed, Jackson. What'd you see?
That is right. That was a pretty disgusting goal there from Patton.
Whistles, huh?
Just sniped that one bar down. That was beautiful.
Lacrosse, both sides.
Yeah, Jackson, what a play there by Patton, as you said. And you got to believe they're trying to keep this momentum up as this game goes on. Coming off that loss to Darien can be a little bit demoralizing. Things can get a little bit out of whack. But so far, we've seen them come out here 4-2 up on the Sharks. This is a good team. This is a Long Island team. They're 5-3. And look, you got to believe the Rams are really excited about this one.
And Chad, that play by Patton was just an individual effort type play. She went through the teeth of the defense, took it all herself, and sniped that one top shelf. Just a great play.
As we see Patton with the ball in her stick again. Always something waiting to happen when Patton has the ball.
It's like a firecracker, Chad, just ready to pop.
Underwood with the ball. She passes it back to Tully. We've already seen Tully make some moves towards the net today as she passes it back to Underwood.
Chad, Underwood is just such a high IQ player, a great player to have behind the net for this Rams team. She just makes great decisions with the ball in her stick, knows when to dodge herself, knows when to feed. Just a player you want on your roster.
And Jackson, as you failed to mention there, and a pivotal member of our stats team. I think that's always an important thing to highlight.
That is 100% right, Chad. These broadcasts would just not be possible without the hard work from our statisticians.
As we saw Kaylee Harden dodge in there and pull it back out, made a couple moves. There just wasn't any shooting space for her. Very smart play to pull it back out. Underwood with the ball. Back to Tully. And what a save there by number 21, Ashley Langdon, saving the up high shot there from Patton. We usually see Patton bounce the ball a little bit more, but Langdon was ready for that up high shot.
That was a great shot, or a great save there by Langdon, and a good take by Patton. Thought she was about to take over this whole game, Chad, with another goal, but good job of the Sharks defense stepping up. They really needed to get a stop there and prevent the Rams from extending their lead to 3.
I mean, after a filthy goal like she just did there, Jackson, sometimes it can be hard to getting a hat trick in the first half. It's cool, but doesn't always happen.
Doesn't always happen unless you're Dylan Patton. In that case, it happens pretty often.
As we see Dylan Patton playing defense here, number 22, Cassidy Miller. Miller passing it off to Luciano, guarded by Carolyn Barron. It appears they're going to call an offsides here on the Rams. I think I might have heard a 1-minute penalty. A little confused with what the ref's doing down here. Been a lot of whistles so far, a lot of stoppages. As we see Luciano just pull it out.
Yeah, Chad, a bit of confusion on the field. Not quite sure what that ref was talking about, but looks like they got it all sorted out.
Appeared to be a little bamboozled there, Jackson. As we see Leahy guarding number 16 there, Morris Rowe. Passing the ball up to Luciano. Coluffel with the ball, passing it to Macera. Morris Rowe taking it towards the net. Luciano with the ball, cutting past Barron, but good defense there by Carolyn Barron. Harden. Coluffel taking it down the middle. Macera. Macera getting a little bit into the Rams defense there. Might be a turnover on the pass.
Chad, she didn't end up making anything of it, thanks to that great defense by Carolyn Barron, but Morris Rowe really had some shifty little moves she just put on display.
Definitely Jackson, as we saw Kaylee Harden pick up, I believe that's Forte. Barron guarding Coluffel. Morris Rowe taking it down the middle. Looked like a hold call there on Leahy. Not quite sure. The hand signs are a little bit difficult to see from up here. Morris Rowe will pull it out, passing to Luciano. Forte with the ball. Coluffel taking it down the middle. Just passing the ball away, trying to get it to Macera. Luciano getting the ground ball, though.
Luciano did a great job of recovering that one, but it was an excellent strip there by Stella Nolan to force the ball out of her stick as she was trying to dodge and attack Claire Mahoney in net.
We saw Gia Cologne there pulling the ball out, getting control of the offense, letting them set back up, while also helping this Rams team set their defense back up again.
And the Sharks are really having a nice long settled possession here, Chad, but they just haven't been able to make much of it so far.
I mean, we saw early in the game the 2 early goals from the Sharks, but since then it's almost been like a steel curtain from this Rams defense, reminiscent of the 70s Steelers team, one might say.
Maybe even the 2020 Patriots.
Oh, but it looks like we jinxed that one to a whole nother level there, Jackson, as Luciano, Kaylin Luciano was able to sting a goal there past Claire Mahoney.
What can you say, Chad? The steel curtain that was the Steelers defense fell eventually, and it had to happen to the Rams with all that time of possession for the Sharks.
Yeah, Jackson, I can't help but think that we jinxed that one there. I think that's our bad.
I think that is possible, but our friends in Eastport-South Manor are certainly happy that we jinxed that one. And to end that scoring drought.
Yes, our dear friends in Eastport-South Manor. All right, I think we're going to go over to the draw here, Jackson. See Haley and Kaluffel on the draw again. It's been the matchup all day.
Truly the matchup of the century here on the draw.
Century, Jackson?
Century, Chad.
Okay. It looks like Kaluffel won the draw there, but Kaylee Harden's able to get the ball. She's using her speed, trying to get past everyone there. And that ball just bounces right off. I'm hoping it wasn't the face of Lexi Tully.
And I was about to praise Tully. She did a great job cutting to the ball there. Harden was running the ball herself, kind of needed an outlet. And great awareness by Tully to cut for it, but she couldn't handle the pass. You know, those things happen.
It can be hard to adjust your sticks sometimes when you're in that cutting towards the offensive player stage of like running. Because look, you're getting closer, the ball's moving.
That's right.
You have less reaction time. It's just difficult. But look, great riding there by the Rams, able to get the ball back, make up for a little bit of a mistake there on the pass as Devin Russell carries the ball up the field. Underwood with the ball. Nolan passes it off to Tully. Ball back to Underwood. See a little bit of cutting going on here, cutting towards the crease.
Looks like Devin Russell's going to get the 8-meter here, Chad. I think they called a push in the back.
Yeah, I got a little confused there. I couldn't quite hear the ref. She was trying to talk out what was happening. But look, definitely an 8-meter here for Devin Russell.
Ooh.
Oh, just right off the net there, right off the bars. But look, great job by New Canaan. Apelt being able to pick the ball back up there, getting it to Patton, getting back in control of this offense.
I got to say, Chad, this has been a really excellent defense by the Sharks.
And look at Lexi Tully making them pay there. We saw Abby Miller, I believe, might have been somebody else. I'm pretty sure it was Cassidy Miller jumping in front of the ball there, trying to get an interception. She thought she was Troy Polamalu, but that job's reserved for Norton. And we saw a beautiful goal there by Lexi Tully.
Well, Chad, just as I compliment the defense, the offense scores again. The Sharks kind of broke down on that last dodge by Tully, who kind of just took it to the goal herself. But they were doing a great job guarding the cutters. New Canaan had a nice settled offensive opportunity that led into that Russell 8-meter where the Sharks were doing a great job just keeping stride with all the Rams cutting to the goal.
It looks like they'll bring Luciano up here trying to get the ball. She's done a great job picking up ground balls so far. She's been playing more on the attack side. But it looks like they're going to move her up to play a little bit of midi here. I believe it's Lexi Tully on the draw here. And she was able to get a win there against number 17, Lauren Dunn. As Patton takes the ball to the net, just trying to force it there to Underwood. But it looks like Stella Nolan will be able to keep possession for the Rams.
And Chad, that was a great play there by Schwack. She may have stopped the goal. She just really smacked that ball towards the ground. They had a pass inside easily, and I believe it was Underwood would have finished that one.
And Jackson, you really wanted to say Schwack there. I could hear it in your voice. But look at that. Another goal from Dylan Patton, and that's a hat trick on the day. We saw a little bit of a turnover there, trying to go for the assist, and now she gets a goal. What a play by her.
Chad, what did we say? First half hat tricks are not very common unless you're Dylan Patton. She has just been dominant all season.
I mean, look, when you have the All-American title like she does, she's going to Cornell to play girls lacrosse. You got to believe she's an electric player when you have accolades like that, and she shows it almost every time she takes the field.
She is, in fact, an electric player, Chad. I would have to agree with that one. And the Rams extended to a 3-goal lead. It's pretty high scoring so far. 5 minutes left to go in the first half.
I mean, Jackson, the way the game kicked off, we saw 3 goals or 4 goals in 3.5 minutes. I thought it was going to be maybe a 20-goal game, something crazy like that. but it's definitely been pretty high scoring so far.
Well, I'm going to remember your 15-9 Rams prediction. We do seem to be on track.
As we see Harden pick up the ball here. Passing it off to Patton. And a little bit of a tough spot here by the sideline. Russell getting the ball. Little bit of a push there by Gia Cologne. Getting Devin Russell over past the mid. Just a little bit past the restraining line here. Letting the Rams set up their offense. Nolan with the ball. Up to Tully. To Russell. Russell to Patton. Over to Harden. Looks like Harden will dodge towards the net here. Making a couple moves. Looking to feed. Oh, nope. Maybe shoot. And she puts it in the net. I thought she was turning into a feeder there, Jackson. I saw a couple cutters coming from behind. And she's still just able to sting it. I think that might have been with her left hand even. What a goal by her.
Good heavens, Chad. That one was absolutely beautiful. Harden just taking it herself and burying it in the back of the goal.
And it looks like they're going to have Tully back on the draw here. A little bit of a change up. We saw Kaluffel and Harden pretty much taking every draw. But it looks like this is the switch. It's going to be Dunn versus Tully for the rest of the quarter. Or half. Tully winning it towards Harden, but Luciano coming through to get the ground ball. Luciano passes it back to her defense, passing it to number 8 there, Forte.
And if you're the Sharks, Chad, you need to get some offense going before the half. You're down 4. That's a pretty big deficit against a team as talented defensively as the Rams. They need to step up and make a play before half and not go in with such a deficit and on a scoring drought.
Yeah, Jackson's. We see Gia Cologne with the ball here. Looks like she's just gonna hold it, letting the Sharks set up their offense here. She passes it to Luciano. A lot of cutting going on the crease. Nothing really coming about it, though. Barron on Forte here, pushing her a little bit. Luciano gets the ball, almost getting through the Rams defense. And it looks like a shooting space call there on Barron. We'll see Forte on an 8-meter here. Forte takes it inside, but pulls it out. What a great cutoff there by Devin Russell. Apelt on defense on Luciano. She passes it to Gia Cologne.
Chad, the
Getting it
Rams
to
defense
Massaro.
just does such a great job of communicating. That's why they've really just been able to stifle the Sharks team. They move well, they talk well, and every player is always in position to guard their attacker.
Yeah, Jackson, I was thinking the same thing, but I was so worried we were going to jinx them again. I didn't want to talk about how great the defense has been. Forte on the dodge, passing it to Massaro. And Massara's able to draw a little bit of a shooting space call there for the 8-meter. Russell and Tully will set up to try and cut her off. Massaro takes it to the net, and she's just able to dunk it in there. I'm not sure what the ref called there, but it's going to be a goal for the Sharks. What a goal there by Massaro, taking it across the body, and just being able to shovel it in a little bit there, avoiding the sticks of the Rams defense.
Crafty play there by Massaro. She got the 8-meter. She brought home the bacon, Chad. She got the goal. You love to see it if you're the Sharks. Great job by them. They were on a bit of a scoring drought. Rams going on a run. That's how you respond.
Yeah, Jackson, and when you can go into half down by 3, 3 versus 4 points. It might seem a little bit small, but look, when it's going this way, you don't want to have a team doubling your score. Just mentally, that's not something you want to face when you're going into halftime. And it looks like the Sharks might be able to avoid that. Tully on the draw. Tully versus Dunn. And Tully's able to get the ball there off the draw. Just being able to get right past Luciano. Underwood with the ball. She dishes it off to Stella Nolan. Stella Nolan making a couple moves. Looking a little Carter Connors-esque, but she throws the ball away, and they give the ball back to Langdon here to set up the clear for the Sharks.
And a great job there by Swack, getting her stick in the passing lane, getting that ball for her team.
Yeah, and Schwack's just been playing really great defense so far today. We see her, I think we've seen her force 2 turnovers today.
That's right.
I mean, Jackson, we talked about early broadcast. Just a great name. We wanted to make a couple Schwack whacking people jokes, and we've had a chance so far today, and I'm pretty happy about it.
And Schwack's been doing great out there for her defense.
Massaro with the ball. Forte dodging on Apelt, or it looks like Norton actually. Passing it off to Luciano, guarded by Barron. Claire Mahoney falling down a little bit there, a little bit off even, but still able to come back across the circle there, across the crease, and being able to make a save as we see Jade Lowe with the ball. Mahoney in control of the clear here, passing it off to Barron. Dylan Patton carrying the ball up the field. We talked about her speed earlier, the claims of a 4.540, and we can kind of see it there.
And Chad, she can just really go. She's as fit as a butcher's dog.
And it looks like that goal is not going to count for New Canaan, but what a feed there by Patton. We've seen her score 3 goals so far today. I think there might have been a shooting space call, something like that. But we'll see her on the 8-meter.
Well, that pass by Patton, Chad, is just a sight for sore eyes. Great pass by her.
Patton taking it inside, and that's a save there by Langdon, being able to go up high there, making another save. We've seen her save 2, I believe. Dylan Patton, 8 meters so far, and just what a play by her right there as we're taking it into the half here. Jackson, what did you see in that first half?
Chad, the Sharks did a great job in the first 10 minutes of keeping pace with the Rams, but since then it kind of seems like the Rams have had control of the game. They've definitely dominated time of possession. Their defense has looked great. They've just really been dominant in the past 10 minutes of the game, and I think that they can continue that into the second half and get a win today. But the Sharks can go back to what they did in the first few minutes of the game and really try to stage a second half comeback.
And Jackson, if you're the Sharks coach, what player do you think they're going to go to as this game goes on?
Well, Chad, I feel like on the defensive end, they've really leaned on Schwack. She's just really been dominant, keeping her stick in the passing lane and doing great.
Yes, Jackson, just to build on that, maybe more of an offensive player. I mean, we saw Kalupfel. She was really taking over the game there in the first half, of the first half. One might call it the first quarter. And we saw her able to win draws. She was able to get into the middle of that Rams defense. It kind of stalled out there as the second half of the first half kind of kicked in. And, yeah, if she can get back into that form, though, we saw her put up a quick 2 goals. That would really be huge for the Sharks.
And I want to see McLean get involved, Chad. She's looked great out there. Great agility from her. She's just a shifty player.
Yeah, Jackson, I think we might roll into our sponsors here at half. I mean, I can't really say enough about our platinum sponsors. Anyone that watches these broadcasts know how much I love Walter Stewart's. I went before the game today. I got an apple. I got a banana. I even got a mango, Jackson. And let me tell you, it's the best market here in New Canaan. It's always the freshest. What do you have to say about Rambuya and Harrow Real Estate, one of our best platinum sponsors?
Chad, Melissa and Kristen are just two of the nicest people you will ever meet, and just a great real estate company.
And they're the premier real estate partners of Fairfield County. And then let's roll into Carl Chevrolet. I refer to them as the automotive jewel of New Canaan. It's one of the only car dealerships here. It's a great place. It's run by 2 New Canaan alumni. They always do their best to support the programs here, and they're just the best.
And we're going to go straight from the automotive jewel to the dentistry jewel of, I dare say, the tri-state area, and William J. Fessler. Just an amazing fellow.
I was talking to my mom. Apparently he donated some toothbrushes and some toothpaste to some kids in need for filling in the blanks, a charitable organization. Just a really great guy.
Great guy.
Renaissance Partners LLC, one of our gold sponsors. They really help develop New Canaan. They're a New Canaan-based company. And then Performance Optimal Health. Can't say it enough. They're helping me get back from my knee. They're just great people. They had a trainer that used to work here, Adam. I know we all loved him. Great guy. And they have a lot of other guys that work there. All just great people. Just want to say thank you so much to our sponsors for supporting New Canaan Athletics and the broadcast. And we're going to be back at half. And we're back here, Jackson. I mean, what do you have to say about the Rams and what they were able to do in that first half?
I mean, Chad, I don't really have anything different to say from what I said 3 minutes ago. But, you know, it's going to be a great half. 7-4. It's a closer game than I expected. We're definitely going to see a fight from both teams. We saw that that Victor game earlier in the season. The Rams were down big at half. They ended up coming back, tying it up, losing on a last-minute goal. But these games can go anyway. You don't know what's going to happen. We're up for an exciting second half.
I love that little callback you did there, Jackson, as it looks like both teams are going to be taking the field for the draw here. Looks like Tully's going to be taking the draw, probably against Dunn again. We saw that as more of the matchup as the second half of that first half kind of came to a close. I really don't understand why they don't do quarters in this sport, Jackson. Gets a little confusing for us announcers in here.
You know, Chad, I actually enjoy it. It's kind of free-flowing, you know, the way soccer is. Not all those stoppages. We don't need those.
Are you a big fan of the pitch there, Jackson? You a big soccer fan?
I am, Chad.
You have a favorite soccer team by any chance there, Jackson?
I'm going to go with Manchester City.
You see, Jackson, I'm more of a Tottenham fan. They're not the greatest team, but they hold their own each year, and they're a fun team to watch.
I grew up traveling across the pond to Britain and going to tons of football matches, so that was a big fundamental part of my childhood, Chad.
And it looks like Lexi Tolley will be taking the draw here. Our producer's daring us to speak in British accents. I think we're probably going to avoid that one out of respect for the broadcast.
Got to keep it professional, Chad.
Of course, Jackson. As we see the Rams, looks like they're going to get possession here with Devin Russell. Really well executed check there. That wasn't Schwack, but that was Cassidy Miller. But it looks like Devin Russell's still going to have the ball. Luciano on defense. Patton with the ball.
And Chad, I'd love to see them get Patton involved here. She has just been lightning in a bottle so far for this Rams team. Just creating on her own, dodging and finishing all day long.
Great analysis there, Jax. As we see Harden get the feed on the crease, getting stuffed there by Langdon. What a day so far by Langdon. I know the Rams have 7 goals, but some of these saves she's been making up high have really just been ridiculous, Jackson.
Langdon was looking like Dikembe Mutombo the way she stuffed Harden there, Chad. That was absolutely beautiful.
I know it's probably hard in the gloves, but it would have been really cool to see a little Mutombo finger wave there. But it looks like Stella Nolan's going to get an 8-meter here. And Stella Nolan stings the goal there, just getting it past Langdon. We saw Langdon dive to her knees, trying to make the save. But look, Stella Nolan, she's a great player, going to Michigan, just able to put that ball in the net.
And now it's her turn, Chad, to do the finger wag at Langdon if she wants it. A beautiful goal, and now they'll double up the Sharks score.
Jackson, I know we like talking about the Mutombo finger wag, but when it's cold like this, I gotta believe it's hard to get that finger motion going. The joints are a little cold, it's a little hard to move. But look, definitely a great goal there.
100% Chad, and it's certainly cooled down as this game has gone on. It feels like under 45 degrees out there. Definitely frigid conditions for these players in their short sleeves and shorts.
And that's happening in April here, Jackson. I mean, it's April 21st. I want summer to come, and we're stuck here with 15-mile-per-hour winds, feeling like 43 degrees. Just not something you expect in April weather.
I know, Chad. I'm really hoping it'll turn around for us in the next few weeks, but checking the weather right now, it looks like we're going to still have days in the 30s.
Ooh, that's not great, Jackson. Not looking forward to that. You know what I am looking forward to, though? Some New Canaan defense here by Leahy. Almost timed that one up perfectly. And it looks like Leahy took a little bit of a tumble there.
Massera caught a body. She just threw Leahy on the ground.
I'm not sure. Maybe Massera has to come out here for a penalty. Yeah, rightfully so. With the way she laid that body there, I'm not surprised to see a penalty call.
She thought she was Cam Chancellor out there, Chad.
Yeah, Jackson, and maybe playing the wrong sport to be being Cam Chancellor. There appears to be a lot of confusion here, though, because the Sharks got a penalty. The ref's at the scorer's table right now. A lot of stuff going on. Can't really tell you what's happening. Just a lot of confusion. Everyone seems a little bit bamboozled.
Chad, it's baffling to me that the Sharks seem to be setting up for a possession here when I believe they got the penalty.
And Jackson, when the game slows down like this, especially in cold conditions, this is not something you want to see if you're the Rams. You have a little bit of momentum going. You're able to get the ball, and now it's just right back in the stick of the Sharks. Miller with the ball, passing it off to someone there. Forte passing it off to Gia Colon, who gets the ball to Luciano. She pulls it back into the corner, probably trying to kill off this penalty here. Aggressive play here by Carolyn Barron. She's known as the Bruiser. She hits a couple kids in my Spanish class every once in a while. Definitely an aggressive player, maybe even person.
And Chad, one of the things Carolyn Barron's actually known for on this Rams team is literally bruising the attackers. She's very strong with her stick and just plays great defense that results in some of her opponents leaving the game with a black and blue.
Look at that. Probably not a player you want to play against, Jackson, but definitely someone you're happy to have on your team. As we see the Rams get the ball here, Apelt throwing it over to Claire Mahoney. Patton carrying it up the field, running into a little bit of a trap here of a double team. She's able to get the ball to Leahy, who's just struggling to pick it up a little bit there.
Leahy recovered quickly, though, Chad, and gets it off to Devin Russell, you know.
And the Rams are able to set up here. There's 20 seconds left on the penalty. Wouldn't be surprised if they try and take it to the net a little bit here. As we see Caitlin Tully back on the field. We haven't seen a ton of her so far this season. She's going to Cornell. She suffered a couple knee injuries in her career. It's been a little bit difficult for her to get back. It's really exciting to see her back out there, especially playing with her sister.
Yeah, Chad, so great to see her on the field. I didn't see her on the field the first few games I called for the Rams, but coming off that ACL, she's looked great in practice. She's been warming up with the team, and with Hollis Mulry out, her being able to step up is just huge.
Harden on the 8-meter here. And that's a goal by Harden, just going through the 5-hole there of Langdon. We've seen Langdon be able to make the saves up high so far today. The Rams adjusting, just bouncing it on the turf there. What a goal by Harden.
You love to see that type of thing from Harden, Chad. She's been cooking all day, looking like Aisha Curry out there. Love to see it.
That's an interesting callback there, Jackson. Aisha Curry. I've seen a couple of her recipes on the internet. Gotta say, not the biggest fan of some of the things I've seen, but I like the callback there. Definitely an interesting little pop culture reference there, Jackson.
Chad, I'm pretty sure she has a show on the Food Network. You should check that out.
Not so sure about that one, Jackson. I'll stick to Guy Fieri on Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives. Maybe Guy's Grocery Games.
I'm more of a Cupcake Wars man.
It looks like Kalupful was able to beat Lexi Tully there on the draw. Barron on defense. Luciano with the ball. Back to Gia Colon. The Gia Colon and Luciano passing the ball back and forth, almost like they're playing monkey in the middle there.
A little bit of a two-man game they got going, Chad. This Rams defense is looking very, very good.
Patton guarding Macera. Good defense there by Devin Russell. Looks like they just tried to force a feed there on the crease to Gia Colon, and she just wasn't able to catch the ball there. As we see Patton running the ball up the field. An easy clear there for Patton.
And Chad, I'm going to attribute that takeaway there for the Rams to Leahy. She did a great job keeping her stick in the passing lane, making a difficult pass for the Sharks that resulted in a turnover and now a New Canaan possession.
Yep, and the Rams are doing a great job getting the ball around here, stalling out some of the possessions, making sure everyone gets a touch. And oh my goodness, what a jinx I did there again. And Stella Nolan just barely dropped the ball. Molly Reed with the ball, passing it up to Harden. Stella Nolan dodging towards the cage. Open shot. Looks like Stella Nolan's going to get an 8-meter here. Stella Nolan sets up to take her 8-meter. And she just goes up high again there on Langdon. We've seen that going up high hasn't really worked so far today against Langdon.
That was an amazing save there by Langdon. Absolutely stuffed Nolan. And Nolan's great at those 8-meter opportunities. So when you see Langdon make a save like that, that's very impressive, Chad.
Yeah, Jackson, I was trying to think up a little bit of a goalie reference there, maybe the hockey. Sadly, I don't know any hockey goalies, so that wasn't really going to come in handy. But
Well, Chad, I was thinking Mamadi Diakite from the UVA basketball team. He got a lot of blocks. That stuff kind of reminded me of it.
you know who came to mind? The only hockey goalie I know, Jackson? Bo Johnson. Well, Bo Johnson has there on that save. As we see that the Sharks get the ball to Gia Cologne here, getting control of the offensive possession. Luciano carrying the ball against Leahy. And the Sharks just aren't able to maintain possession here. Looked like a little bit of a push call there on Devin Russell going for that ground ball. A little bit confused on the call, but we'll see Cassidy Miller picking up the ball. And it looks like a timeout here for the Sharks.
Chad, I'm going to take this lull in the action to take the opportunity to talk about a few upcoming sporting events. Obviously, tomorrow we have a big New Canaan versus St. Joe's baseball game, which will be streamed live on NCTV at 4 p.m.
Jackson, who's going to be calling that game?
I believe a one Chad Russo and yours truly.
Oh my goodness. So, I mean, if you're enjoying what you're hearing here, maybe you want to tune in. You're definitely going to hear some interesting conversations from the two of us. Never really called a baseball game before.
That's right, and the baseball team this year from New Canaan looking great. They're led by the star seniors, Charlie Mayhos, Zach Rampin, and of course, Brendan Scornia, who hit a walk-off game-winning hit against Wilton yesterday.
And I mean, look, Brendan Tiscornia, he's also another featured announcer in this NCTV group. We saw him in the winter. He's a guy that everyone loves. And, I mean, it should just be electric to tune in, see these guys take the field against St. Joe's. Maybe hit some home runs in Meade Park. Who knows? Who knows? Right. I'm going to be excited for that one, Jackson.
Of course. And one thing worth noting on the Brendan Tiscornia walk-off, it was a walk-off to force the mercy rule to end the game. And there were 2 errors that resulted in the home run, but a walk-off nonetheless.
I mean, I believe we have footage of it that will be airing tomorrow.
Exclusive footage, Chad.
Exclusive footage, yes. I believe it's from one kid's highlight tape.
That's right.
That should be exciting. That's an NCTV exclusive right there. And that's what you get when you tune in with us. You get these exclusive little looks into teams, some things you might not be able to see typically. And it's just beautiful overall. It's great that we have content like this.
Chad, we have content that no one else has at NCTV.
I mean, we have a stats department, Jackson.
That's right, of course.
Should we shout out our stats department right now? All right, well, our producer isn't very happy about this, so we have to do it. Shout out to Braden Shank.
Of course.
Emily Fox. Caroline Underwood.
Of course. Connor
Finnegan. And Connor Finnegan, our 4 major stats department members. As we see this timeout come to a close, we had our little bit of entertainment there, Jackson. But what do you think the Sharks are trying to do with this timeout?
Well, our stats department didn't give me much on the Sharks, Chad. I got to be honest with you. But you got to think they're going to lean on a player like McLean. I've been saying it all day. McLean can just make it happen on the offensive end for the Sharks.
I'm not sure how many times I've said McLean's name today, Jackson, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's Kaluffel or Luciano. Those have been the 2 main people so far this game on the offense for this Sharks team. And, I mean, maybe a sneaky little goal by McLean like you're thinking. She's a shifty player. You already talked about it. And, I mean, the defense that Schwack's been able to hold down on the other side of the field. Those 2 grouped together, if we see those 2 players step it up even to another level, this whole game could get flipped on its head.
I might even compare McLean to Carter Connors, the way she's so shifty on the field. You know, Carter Connors was just such an asset in that Rams' huge win over Darien over the weekend.
Jackson, I love the comparison there. Always love when you can see a comparison on the field. Makes it a little bit easier to call. And it looks like Luciano has the ball. She kicks it to Schwack. Schwack throwing it to Kluffel. Gia Cologne with the ball now. She throws it up, a little rainbow there to Schwack. Schwack being able to rise up and make an excellent Odell-esque catch there.
Great job by Schwack handling that one, Chad.
And this Rams defense, Jackson, look at what they've been able to do so far. They're jumping out in front of passes, playing aggressive, really using that 5-goal lead, but taking a little more time, being aggressive, trying to force turnovers. But sometimes that can lead to an 8-meter like it is here from Macera.
Chad, Macera is very quick, very shifty. Kind of looks like Barry Sanders. She's done a great job getting past her defenders all day.
Jax, I'm not sure how many other sports references we've made today, but that's definitely the most interesting one. A little Barry Sanders comparison for Macera. Macera takes it towards the net, and she gets stuffed there by Claire Mahoney, who's able to bounce it out there to Jade Lowe. Maybe unintentionally, but what a great save by her.
Claire Mahoney, what a save. That was absolutely beautiful, Chad.
And Stella Nolan coming here to help out Jade Lowe. Jade Lowe, a defenseman, not someone they really want on the offensive end. And Stella Nolan having the awareness there, being able to go get the ball, set up this Rams offense. Stella Nolan with the ball. Straight to Tully, and what a goal there by Caitlin Tully with her return to the field. You can tell everyone's really excited for that one. She was recovering from a couple knee injuries, and just being able to get a goal for her, definitely just a great moment. She's a great player, and getting her back into the mix after the fall there of Hollis Mulry, you can see she's a little bit emotional. Just overall, a great play there by Tully, just dunking the ball.
Chad, you absolutely love to see something like that. All the fans jumped on their feet the second they saw her score. Her teammates are cheering her on. That is just such an amazing moment for Tully. And her out there with her younger sister, Lexi Tully, them working like I dare say, the Manning brothers out there, the way they've dominated. Sorry to do another sports reference, but it's just so great to see her back and scoring.
Yeah, Jackson, love that Manning's brothers reference there. That might even be a little understating it. I think they might be moving a little bit better than the Manning brothers. Not exactly the most athletic-looking guys. I think they're moving a little bit better than them, Jackson. As we see Kluffel here winning the draw, carrying the ball up past Lexi Tully, dishing it off to Luciano. Gia Cologne tossing the ball to Forte, who's able to draw a shooting space call against Apelt, maybe Harden. We've seen a couple of these from Forte today. I believe she might have been able to score one. So we see Kristen Woods, coach of this Rams team, telling them where to go behind the net. And Claire Mahoney just stuffing Forte right there.
Chad, it is worth noting that it looks like the scoreboard out on the field is not on. So I don't even know if the Sharks know how much they're down right now, but there is, in fact, a 6-goal deficit.
Yeah, Jackson, the little technical difficulties there. It happens. Things like that happens. We have a little bit of a running clock going. 8-meter here by Forte again. Stuffed again. The combination of the defense from Harden and Norton there. Dishing the ball off to Dylan Patton. Showing off her speed. Getting the ball to Stella Nolan here. Having the control to get the ball and throw it to Molly Reed. As we see Lexi Tully chase that ball down. Maintain possession for the Rams.
And Chad, you credited, I believe, Stella Nolan and Kaylee Harden for the defense. But I would like to give some more credit to Claire Mahoney. She has been playing lights out today. Only 4 goals let in so far. 13 minutes left in the second half. She has played amazing.
And Jackson, I think it's key to mention 2 of those goals just came in the first 3.5 minutes of the game. Since then, she's really settled down. She's been able to make a lot of saves. She's been stuffing these 8-meter attempts. It's really been demoralizing for the Sharks.
And Chad, that's why she was first team All-FCIAC last year and committed to Brown. She is just one of the best goalies in this entire state.
She definitely is, Jackson, as we see Harden tossing the ball to Norton here. Lexi Tully with the ball. Tully to Harden. Looks like the Rams are slowing things down a little bit here. Sharks have been able to settle down on defense. There's not too much urgency for the Rams to score a goal here, being up 6. And you can see the experience from their team, just passing it around, not being overly rambunctious, trying to dodge to the goal.
But you got to credit the Sharks defense. They've really done a good job sealing off this New Canaan team, forcing them to move the ball on the perimeter, which not necessarily optimal given that they're down 6 and kind of need to pressure the ball, but they've looked good nonetheless.
I think that's one of the struggles for this Sharks team, though. When you're going up against like an offense like this, Dylan Patton, Kaylee Harden, Stella Nolan, and now Caitlin Tully fueled offense, there's so many different people that can beat you, and it can be hard to push out because if you do, you just open up a crease in the middle that can be easy for the Rams to score in.
And Chad, back to Caitlin Tully. We have to congratulate her again. That's just such a great thing to see. Her coming off an injury and getting a goal this game. Such a great thing for a player.
And you got to love Coach Kristen Woods putting her into the game. It's been the first time in a little bit. She's a great player, definitely someone they trust. And just giving her that experience in a little bit of a game that looks like the Rams will probably win, barring anything pretty bad happening. Getting her that goal, you just got to love that kind of coaching for her players. Leahy appeared to misjudge that ball a little bit as it goes back there to Macera. And Luciano just stings a goal there on the Rams.
Great job by Luciano. Capitalized. Bit of a defensive breakdown by the Rams. They didn't necessarily see that coming, but Luciano was able to capitalize and make it count one-on-one with Mahoney.
And Jackson, that's something I always struggled with as a player. It can be hard to tell how high the ball is when you're jumping up, trying to bat down the ball. I know Coach Buzzy always just told me to go for the other player's stick because he knew I was kind of useless at trying to get interceptions. And you can see there, sometimes when you miss that interception, you misjudge if someone's behind you. It can just lead to a goal.
Makes me think of the Minneapolis Miracle, Chad. You know, Stephon Diggs' defender, I believe it was Marshawn Lattimore, just misjudged the ball just slightly, and it led to that, game-winning touchdown.
Jackson, I might have to correct you on that one. I believe it was Marcus Williams came across the field and took out Marshawn Lattimore in the final seconds. Hopefully we don't see a play like that out here today, but that was definitely something reminiscent there that you were able to bring up.
That's right. And
looks like Gia Colon with the ball here. Passing it off to Luciano.
Chad, looks like the Sharks are playing a bit more energized now following that goal.
There's
10 minutes left. It's a 5-goal game. They're in this.
Yeah, Jackson, all it can take is one goal sometimes, and it can just re-energize your team. When you go on long droughts, all it takes is that one little nick in the armor of the other team, and you can really try and exploit that as time goes on. Forte here with the 8-meter. Looks like they're calling a false start there on Forte, just throwing away that 8-meter opportunity, and Harden will pick up the ball.
And that's killer for the Sharks, Chad. I mean, still plenty of time left in this game, but that's an important opportunity for them, and to turn it over to a potent Rams offense at a time like this is not optimal.
Looks like a bit of a slash there, call there. Miller just seemed to get the hand of Dylan Patton. Definitely doesn't feel good, especially in this cold weather. I know that pain can sometimes just radiate on your fingers.
100%, Chad. Those cold fingers with no gloves getting hit by that metal stick does not feel good.
I gotta believe that hurts. Harden gives it to Richardson. This is the first appearance we've seen from Richardson so far this game. Nolan with the ball. Tully inside, finishing yet again for her second goal on the day. And this is the most excited I've seen the Rams be for a goal, besides maybe that first Caitlin Tully goal. And we saw some agility there from her. We saw her being able to move with that knee brace on. Just really overall, just great to see, Jackson.
Chad, that's why she's committed to Cornell. Such an amazing athlete and an amazing lacrosse player. So great to see her back from that ACL injury and making a difference in this game.
And you can see some confidence from her out here. We saw in the beginning she was a little more timid, wasn't really making dodges towards the net. And now that it's happening, it's just on a roll. You can just see the confidence radiating off her. The team is looking to throw her the ball, and it's just overall, it's just great to see her out there.
And Chad, they'll definitely need her for their upcoming stretch of games. They have some FCI games coming up. Over the weekend, they'll travel to New York to play Northport, which is definitely going to be a tough challenge for them. So with Hollis Mulvey gone, it's great that they can have Caitlin Tully stepping up at least.
A lot of ports we got going on here, Jackson. We got this Eastport-South Manor team immediately flowing into a Northport game. Man.
So it's a port-themed season for the Rams. I dare say.
At least a port-themed week, Jackson.
A port-themed week. Okay, yeah, not a season.
Just imagine, Jackson, if they had a Westport Staples game this week.
Oh,
it could be a 3-port week.
It really could.
As we see Harden handling the ball, passing it off to Russell.
I mean, Chad, they did play Darien on the other day, the 19th. Darien's mascot is the Blue Wave, so if we're in a water theme, water/port.
I mean, ocean. We got a wave. We got some sharks going on here today.
Oh, yeah. We do.
I don't know what Northport's mascot. I don't know what Northport's mascot is. Maybe they're starfish. Who knows? Could really have an ocean theme going on.
It's a very aquatic theme.
As we see Harden with the ball. Richardson dodging in a little bit there, getting stopped. Russell taking it to the net, taking a little bit of a shot there by Kaluffel, but it looks like she might get rewarded an 8-meter due to her tenacity there. Russell takes it inside, shoots right to the stick side high area of Langdon. What a save yet again up high by Langdon. Langdon dishes it to McLean. Great defense by Tully. Langdon lobs it over to Macera, who struggled to handle it a little bit there, but definitely a great pass by Langdon.
Good recovery there by Macera, Chad, to handle that nearly disastrous bad pass. Every possession counts right now if you're the Sharks.
Yep, as we see Forte taking it inside a little bit there, getting tripped up by Harden or number 12 there. Forte sets up for the 8-meter. We've seen a bunch of 8-meters from her so far today. And she doesn't take it in for the shot, and it looks like they're going to get a shooting space call on Patton. Kaluffel will now get the 8-meter attempt. We saw them pass it out here on the last one. You got to believe they have to go to the goal here, Jackson.
100%.
As she gets blocked by Kaylee Harden. What a play there by Kaylee Harden. Little Matumbo-esque block there, Jackson.
100%.
Richardson with the ball.
Chad, great to see Richardson out there. You know, she suffered a concussion earlier in the season, but she's a great player, great athlete. Stats department even informed us she's the tallest player on the team, and that height's definitely useful in girls lacrosse. You can lob it up to her in front of the net. She'll always come down with it and try to finish it for your team.
Reminds me of like having a center in basketball, Jackson, a tall guy. We saw Chris Paul back in the day with Blake Griffin, DeAndre Jordan. Just being able to lob the ball up in the air, get assists. Just someone you can trust in the middle. Really great to have a tall player out there. And it looks like Lexi Tully just ate one to the face right there. Not something you want to see in the later stages of a game. Gotta believe that's painful.
100%. And Chad, we may have to chill out with these basketball references. We may be getting some backlash after this stream.
Jackson, I'm just a man that loves basketball and baseball, and if I can reference it as much as I can, I will, Jackson.
And football, of course. We've been hitting those references too.
Yeah, we have done a lot. All right, we'll chill.
Dabbled all over the palette.
We'll chill it on the references. As we see Langdon throwing the ball here to McLean. You're definitely a big McLean fan, Jackson. What have you seen in her game so far today?
Well, you know I'm McLean's #1 fan, Chad. She's been out there, and in my eyes, she's been dominating.
Yeah, I think we mentioned her more as an offensive player earlier in the stream. We were definitely wrong about that. She's been playing great defense, though. We haven't had to mention her getting scored on all that much. As we see Massera taking it to the net, throwing it nowhere near the goal, but it looks like she might get an 8-meter attempt here.
Sarah came up gimpy after that one. Hope she's okay. She looks to be walking it off, and I think she'll be good for this attempt.
Yeah, Jackson, you don't want to see players getting hit in the face, hit in the hands, getting injured in the later stages of a game like this. You never want to see it. But when the game's almost out of reach like it is right now for this Sharks team, not the best time to suffer an injury. But Massera is still, even with that gimpy leg, getting hurt there a little bit, still able to finish the goal there. Gotta love the toughness from her.
Sarah's a very tough player, Chad. She's been great out there. She's been one of the main offensive facilitators for the Sharks team, and she's made a difference.
Number 5, Allison Massera.
And it looks like Bluffel will take the draw here again for the Sharks.
And Kalupful has been actually pretty good, Chad. We didn't know what to expect from her coming into this game. She's done a great job keeping pace with everyone the Rams have thrown at her on the draw, from Kaylee Harden to Lexi Tully.
I mean, we talked about the height from Abigail Richardson, but Kalupful, she definitely has some height too, and she's definitely been able to take advantage of that so far today.
100%, Chad. And we said this at the beginning of the game. Lacrosse is a game of possessions, and if anything, if the Sharks go on to lose this game, it has not been because of a lack of possessions. They've had possessions thanks to Kalupful, but they just haven't been able to really capitalize.
And what a great job there by number 2. Is it number 2, number 3? I can't see numbers right now, Jackson. It's getting a little difficult for me. Might need to get my glasses. And that is number 2. We don't have her on the roster, so we cannot say her name. Sydney Patton. Oh, the sister of Dylan Patton. I couldn't really tell what was going on there. I thought it might have been number 3. She looks a little bit like her sister. Maybe references some of the confusion there.
And, Chad, we haven't seen much from the younger Patton much this season, but, you know, Rams are up big with under 3 minutes to go. Got her called up for varsity to get some valuable minutes, and she definitely has a lot of potential if, with being related to Dylan Patton.
Yeah, Jackson, it looks like they got a little bit of a younger lineup in here. They pulled out Harden. Looks like Dylan Patton's still in the game. But it's great to see some of these players getting playing time as we see Lexi Tully sting another goal there. And the Tully sisters is having a day so far. 2 from Caitlin. I think might be 2 from Lexi today as well. Gotta believe family dinner's going to be fun for them.
Yeah, when the Tully sisters combine for a hat trick, you know, that's a great day for the family. Great day for their team as they have doubled up the Sharks score with 2.5 to go.
And Jackson, it looks like my 15-9 prediction isn't really going to come true here. I predicted a little too much offense, maybe.
Maybe.
I don't know.
I mean, Rams might hit 15. Actually, no.
No.
There's a chance.
Probably not. They're probably just going to pull the ball back, let the clock run out a little bit. Maybe Kalupful will be able to win a draw here, but who knows? And Luciano goes and takes the ball right off the draw, being guarded by Lexi Tully. And Luciano just running circles there, showing off some speed, a little bit of agility.
And Chad, you know, Lexi Tully, typically an offensive midi, but we've seen all season she is just great on the ball on these rides and clears. She just does a great job playing defense too.
Yeah, you can definitely see her, Dylan Patton, Kaylee Harden. They're really great offensive players. We can't say enough about them on offense, but the hustle they show on defense, I know in guys lacrosse, that's something the coaches always preach. If you're a really good offensive midi, you can learn to play a little bit of defense. It really takes you to the next level, and they showed that. But look, it's McLean, Jackson. It's McLean on the goal. What do you see from her on the cut there?
I have been keying in on McLean all day, and she finally comes through. Great goal by her, just finding the open space, catching that feed, and finishing past Mahoney.
I feel a little embarrassed now that I referred to her only as a defensive player so far this game, and then we see her go and sting a goal like that.
I don't know why you doubted me. I don't know why you doubted me.
I don't know,
McLean
Jackson.
all day.
I don't know,
She's not
Jackson.
a defender, Chad.
Minute 30 left in this one. The Rams are up by 5 on the Sharks. We see Kaluffel with the ball, dishing it off to Forte here. Luciano dodging in. Just seemed to be able to get right past Carolyn Barron there. It looked like she was trying to zone off. They were playing a little bit of a zone there, a little bit of confusion. Just pulled it back out, was able to dodge right back in, and just overall a great goal by her. I believe that's a hat trick at least on the day for Luciano. She had a great game today. Her and Kaluffel really just, Kaluffel being able to dominate the draws here. I'm still not sure if I'm saying her name right. And then Luciano being able to sting a couple goals here and there. Just overall a great performance from those two.
You know, Chad, the Sharks offense just really been clicking as of late, but you got to think it's too little too late with approaching under 45 seconds left to go in this one.
Yeah, it looks a little bit like that Darien New Canaan boys game I called a couple days ago. Just where the Darien team came out a little bit too late, still scoring goals. Gotta believe if there was time left in this one, it might have gotten a little bit closer. Maybe it's with some of the youth out there for New Canaan. As we'll see a 8-meter here by Sydney Patton. Just a little bit wide right there from Patton.
Possession shot.
Yeah, it's a possession shot. I'm a big fan of possession shots. Always like to reference them. Caitlin Tully looks like she might be going for the hat trick. Maybe going for a feed there. And just that pass goes a little too high for Molly Reed to get a handle on. With 1 second left in the game, Langdon runs it out here for the Sharks. She's still running, but maybe a little bit bamboozled there. Didn't know the game came to an end. But look, Jackson, what a game there for the Rams, being able to win this one 12-8.
Chad, you know, that was a great game by both teams. At the beginning of the game, the Sharks really came out swinging, you know. The Rams looked a little bit razzled and frazzled, if you will. But the Rams pulled it together. They ended up playing a great game. If you win by 4 against a tough Long Island team, you know, that's always a good day.
Yeah, Jackson, for sure. And I mean, we know about the ranking of this New Canaan team. They're still ranked 6th in the country. They had a couple losses here and there. But overall, they're having a great season so far. And it just kind of continued today with a 4-point win over the Sharks. And there's not really much else to say about this game, Jackson. We kind of wrapped it up there in the entire call.
Of course, and now we can just do a few thank yous. Thank you, of course, to our camera operator, Sydney, our producer, Emily Fox, and, of course, our wonderful sponsors.
Yeah, let's roll into these sponsor reads here, Jackson. I think everybody knows about Walter Stewart's, Jackson. I'm such a big fan. I love Walter Stewart's. Hopefully they'll give me an NIL deal when I go to college. That'd be cool.
Chad, I've never seen an individual so giddy about a grocery store.
Oh my goodness. I love their groceries, their apples, their bananas. Their fruit's always fresh. It's the best market in town. And Rambuya and Harrow Real Estate, they're the premier real estate partners of Fairfield County. Just a great place to go if you need it. Great people to go to. Great people to work with if you want to buy a house, maybe even sell your house. And Carl Chevrolet, they're the best. They're the best automotive group. Like what can we not say about Carl Chevrolet? When my brakes weren't working, I called them up. They sent me to the right people. They made sure I knew what I was doing. Just overall great people. And William J. Fessler, we talked him up a little bit earlier. He's a great guy, always there for your family dentistry needs.
He's a family
He donates and helps kids in all areas. Just overall a great guy. Just smile, you're in good hands with William J. Fessler. And Renaissance Partners LLC, a New Canaan-based company, overall just great to see. They've built up this town to the beauty that it is currently. And Optimal Performance Health. Can't talk about them enough. Just great people. I've worked with them a couple times when we needed like a little bit of physical therapy work, stuff like that. They supplied us with trainers for a little bit. Just overall a great company. So thank you once again to all of our sponsors for supporting New Canaan Athletics, supporting the broadcast. Just overall, they help make all this possible. Really great to have them. We really appreciate them.
And a final thank you to the contributors to our stat department, Connor Finnegan, Caroline Underwood, Braden Shank, of course, and Thomas Russo.
Yes, shout out to Thomas Russo. I know you're watching this broadcast. See you out there.